In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate a written method to calculate percentage increases. This method should work for decimals, for whole numbers, for money, whatever you're using. So let's get on with it. You will need to know a couple of things though. Number one, you need to be able to convert a percentage to a decimal, and you also need to be able to multiply up to 3-digit numbers and decimals and all that kind of thing. So if you don't know how to do those things, there are tutorials that you can go to, and I will include those in the description on my YouTube channel. Okay, so let's get on with it. We want to increase $15.50 by 20%. So the first thing is we need to rename 20%, and we need to rename it as a decimal. Now 20%, if I remind you, percent means out of 100, so it'll be 20, right, out of 100. Now the decimal point is here, and I need to rename as a decimal, so I'm going to be doing what this says, 20 divided by 100. So I'm going to be moving the decimal point to the left. And when the denominator is a factor of 100, like 10, 100, 1,000, I just take notice of how many zeros there are in the denominator. So in this case, there are 2. And that tells me how many place values I need to jump this decimal point to the left. So 1, 2. So as a decimal, 20% is 0.2. So now I just have to do this. Find 20% of 1550, and I'll do it like this. 15.50 multiplied, that's what this is, by 0.2. So I want to do that by hand, and that's why you need to be able to multiply. So here we go. So 15.50 multiplied by 0.2. So let's go through that, each step. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. So put the 0 here, carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And then 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Where does the decimal point go? Well, there's 1, 2, 3 decimal places in the question. So there have to be 1, 2, 3 decimal places in the answer. So I now know that 20% is equal to 3.1. In money terms, this would be $3.10 because we need 2 place values after the decimal point. Okay, so we've got that information now. I need to increase 1550 by 20%. I now know that 20% is 3.1, so I just need to add those two values together. So the original amount of $15.50 plus 3.1. Now, because it's money, you could put the 0 in here. That'd be fine. Okay, 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 1 is 6. We're up to the decimal point. Put that in. 5 plus 3 is 8. And 1 plus nothing is 1. And so the final answer is $18.60. If we take a look at number 2, number 2 says increase 158 by 12.5. So again, we have this problem where we have to convert 12.5% into a decimal. So let's just do it up here. So 12.5 will go out of 100. Again, I'm just going to do what this says, 12.5. This fraction bar means divided, so 12.5 divided by 100. So basically, decimal point is going to be moved to the left, however many zeros there are in the denominator, because the denominator in this case is a factor of 10. So it's 10 or 100 or 1,000, remember? In this case, it's 100. So there are 2 zeros. That means I'm going to move the decimal point 1, 2 spaces to the left. So as a decimal, 12.5% is 0.125. Cool. Now I can make a calculation, which is 158 multiplied, that's the by bit, by 0.125, which is 12.5% as a decimal. Again, I'm going to have to do some multiplication, so I may as well start. What is it? 158 multiplied by 0.125. Okay, take a bit of time. So 5 8s are 40, 5 5s are 25, plus 4 is 29. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Okay, so finish with that one. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Okay, finish with that one. And I'm up to 1. 1 times 8, 8. 1 times 5. And 1 times 1, 1. Add all these guys up. So 0, 15. That's going to be 17. 9. Okay. How many decimal places should there be in my answer? Well, that depends on how many decimal places there are in the question. And here that's a whole number, so there's none, but 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 19.75. So all I have to do is add 1, 5, 8, and 19.75. And this is going to give me the final answer. So 5, 7, I'm up to the decimal point. That is 17. That is 7. And that is 1. And we're dealing with money. So put in the unit of measurement. And that one is complete. So you can see it's not difficult, but you do need to be able to multiply if you're going to do everything by hand. If you want to, I suppose you could use a calculator for this step where you're multiplying by the decimal. This step, multiply by the decimal. But if you're needing to do everything by hand, this is one way that you could do it.